Let me ask you something. How do you define the classical period? Well, for starters, there are two accurate definitions of it. An art movement has two periods in them, the Rococo and the Neoclassical. It can also be described as music returning to its more structured setting and process. In a nutshell, these are both accurate depictions of it, but most historians tend to look at the art aspect as correlating more with world history, and music serving as the accompaniment or soundtrack to history. But as the world was changing, such as the United States gaining their independence from Great Britain, and the French gaining, well, the French revolting from their original government in 1789, music was changing as well. For one, the middle class became the most important aspect for composers and the players to reach a wider audience. And also, music was returning to its more structured setting with slower chord and harmonic progressions, which is in direct contrast to the Baroque's rich, elegant, quick style. And third, the sonata form was created. And how did this come about? Who did this? What did this? Well, we have two composers to thank for this: Franz Joseph Haydn and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. But Haydn was the one who kick-started the whole classical period. Now, from a young age, Haydn was exposed to music through his father, and because of this, Haydn lo- discovered that he loved to sing, and he had a beautiful singing voice, and he wanted to take up the violin. Now, according to Neil Butterworth in Haydn, His Life and Times, written in 1977, this autobiography stated that the reason Haydn became the person that he was is that he went off to Hamburg with one of Matthias's cousins to study music more, and because of that, he landed a singing gig in Vienna, traveling with Carl George Reuter. But that was cut short because as Haydn got older, his voice started to deteriorate, which got him to quit or kicked out in a sense. Now, he didn't land a first musical post until he was older, and this actually jump started his career writing a lot of music for orchestras and solo players. Now, one of the things we associate Haydn with is the creation of the string quartet, which leads into chamber music. Now, the string quartet consists of four key instruments in the string family: first violin, second violin, the viola, and the cello. And now, the creation of the string quartet allowed for more jobs in the performing aspects for the players, and it also brought about more composition opportunities for music for composers, so they won't be just keep writing music for like the harpsichord or for a full orchestra. Now, Haydn and Mozart happen to be very close friends, that you can hear a lot of influences in both their music from each other at the time they were alive. Like, such as like Haydn being exposed to music at a young age, Mozart was exposed to music as well, but one thing we associate Mozart with was that he was a child prodigy, and he actually wrote his first composition at age 4 and composed an entire opera before reaching puberty. Now, Leopold happened to like notice that hey, his kids have that started to notice that his kids have talent, so he sent them. He and his family went on a tour across Europe, and Mozart actually was pretty revolutionary at the time because he was able to compose and improvise on the spot, which gained him a reputation across Europe. Now, Mozart had lived a short life, only dying in 1791 at the age of 35 due to illness, but he wrote a lot of music, and by a lot, I mean a lot of music. But one of the things we associate Mozart with is his operas such as Don Giovanni and the Magic Flute, which are considered comedic in nature. Now, one fun fact about Mozart is that when he was composing Ein kleine Nachtmusik, it was actually written to serve as a memorial for his father, Leopold, who had died shortly before writing it. And another fun fact was, and a lot of music composers, well, a lot of music historians suggested like when Mozart died, he was writing Requiem, which might have been his own Requiem, but I think it was stated by John Roselli in The Life of Mozart, written in 1998. Now, Mozart and Haydn are both revolutionary in the sense of like they set the bar for music later on to the 19th century and sort of went away in the 20th century, but it came back to the sense of like whole neoclassical period in the whole neoclassical movement in the early 1900s. But in the end, many composers such as Tchaikovsky and Chopin can both attribute that their music has an influence on both Haydn and Mozart in it. So, thank you, Haydn and Mozart, for setting the bar for musicians everywhere and maybe continue to study you into the future.